Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Automate with Girish. In this video, we're going to see the solution of setup server use case from bots DNA. So first we'll see the requirement. So step one is we have to launch this website botsdna.com/server. So first, so this is the use case setup server. So first we have to launch this website, and step 2 is we have to read the Excel file data. So after launching the website, we have to download the Excel file, and once we download the Excel file, in Excel file we have to make two changes. Here we have to write our own email ID on which we want the email that we will send after the server creation. And here it's when you download the Excel file, it's given 1000 TB, but when we will see HDD size, there is no 1000 TB data. So we'll correct it and we'll make it 1 TB, and here also 1 TB. So wherever 1000 TB is present, we'll make that 1 TB. So these are the two changes. And after we download the Excel file, we'll read the Excel file data. And step 3 is fill the web page data based on Excel data. So based on Excel data, like, we have to fill the web page data. So if OS is Windows Server 2019, so here we'll select Windows Server 2019. RAM is 32 GB, so I'll select RAM is 32. HDD is 500 GB, so here I'll select 500 GB. Application is 7-zip and Adobe Reader, so here I'll select 7-zip and Adobe Reader. Step 4 is click on create server button. So after filling the data, we have to click on create server. Then we have step 5 is we have to capture the IP address, username and password. So we'll capture IP address, username and password from here. And step 6 is we have to send email to the given email address in the Excel file. So we have to send an email to this email ID that is given in the Excel file. And the email body will contain for request ID. This request ID will get from here, this request ID. And these are the details that server created successfully. IP address will capture from here, username and password. So these details will capture from there. And step 7 is we have to go back one step. So after server is created successfully for single row, so we'll go back one step, and we have to perform the same step. Step 8 is repeat the step from step 1 to step 7 for all the data present inside Excel. So we have to repeat all these steps again for all the data present inside Excel file. Like we have done for second row, we have to do this for third row, also for fourth row, and for all the rows present inside Excel file. So this is the requirement. We'll see how we can achieve this. So first step is we have to launch the web page. So first I'll go to automation anywhere, and here I'll, from browser package, I'll drag and drop open command. Here I'll select Google Chrome, and I'll pass the website link here. Control C, Control V. So step 1 is done. Step 2 is we have to read the Excel file data. So for this, I'll go to Excel advanced package, and first I'll use open command. I'll copy the path of the file. I'll paste it here. Sheet contains headers. So yes, our sheet contain header. So I'll check this checkbox and I'll give the session name as default. After opening the Excel, I'll use get multiple cell command to read all the rows present inside Excel, and I'll give the session default, and I'll store the output in T Excel sheet data. After this, I'll use close command from Excel advanced package to close the Excel file. But for now, I'll disable this. So step 2 is done. Step 3 is we have to fill the data web page. We have to fill the web page data based on Excel data. So for this, I'll use loop command. I'll select for each row in table. I'll select the table here and record. I'll store the output in a record variable r table row. So now I'll use capture command from recorder package. First, I'll click on refresh window. So I'll get my Windows setup server setup, and now I'll click on capture object to select the OS. So hover here, and once you see this red rectangle, then left click on it. Here I'll select item by text, and here I'll pass R table row, and OS is present on column 2. So I'll access this by index 1 position, 2 position. So for access the column 1, we will give 0 index. For accessing column 2, we will give index 1. So here I'll pass index as 1. So once this is done, I'll again drag and drop capture command, and now I'll capture RAM size. Here also I'll select item by text, and here I'll pass R table row by index, and here I'll pass index 2, that is 0 1 2. Once this is done, now I have to select radio button. So for this I'll use if command. Here I'll select string condition. Source value I'll select R table row, and it's present on. You have to select HDT. So HTTD is present on 0, 1, 2, 3, third index. So here I'll pass index 3. We can also access the data by name, but here I'm using index to access the data. And when it's equal to 250 GB, here I'll select include. When our table row include 250 GB, then we have to use capture from recorder package capture command and select the website, and here I'll select this checkbox, and here I'll access this checkbox by domex path. So I'll right click here, click on inspect, then right click, copy, copy XPath, then Control F, Control V. So here we can see we are able to find one of five. So it's selecting all the five check boxes, radio buttons. So for this first, if we have to select the first radio button, so I'll pass one in square bracket. So you can see now it's selecting first one. And when we have to select the second radio button, so I'll pass second in the square bracket, so it's selecting second. When I'll pass 3, so it's selecting 3. When I'll pass 4, so it's selecting 4. When I'll pass 5, so it's selecting 5, fifth radio button. So we can use the radio button to select this we can use the domex path to select the radio button. So here I'll pass, we have to left click when the match is found, then from action to take on object I'll select left click, and here I'll in domex path I'll control A, control V, and here I'll pass 1 because we have to select the first radio button. Unselect all the properties here. So we'll do now. I'll drag and drop else command. If match is not found, then I'll again drag and drop, select string condition. Now this time third index, and if it's include, I'll select 500 GB this time, and select this match case and copy paste the same capture command here, but this time we will pass 2 here because we have to select this second radio button. Else if, again select string condition, and here I'll R, and if it's include 1 TB, then again copy the capture command and paste inside else if, and pass here third radio button. copy paste the same else if command. If it's equal to 2 TB, so here I'll pass 2. So I'll select fourth radio button, so I'll pass 4 here in the square bracket. Again drag and drop the same command, copy paste the same command, and here if it's equal to 5 TB, so here I'll pass 5. So we'll change the domex path here. If the match is found, then I'll select fifth radio button. So we have done for the radio button. Now we have to select the application. So for this, I'll again, but before selecting application, we can see here the application are separated by comma. So first we have to perform string operation here. So for this, I'll use split command from string package. So I'll pass the source string $r table row. Index would be the 4 this time. Here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So application is present on fourth index. So I'll pass 4 here. Delimiter would be the comma, and because applications are separated by comma, you can see here comma. Here also it's separated by comma. So I'll pass delimiter as comma, and I'll store the output in a very list variable L applications. After this, I'll drag and drop loop command to loop through each list item. So here I'll select list. For each list item, I'll select the list variable L application, and I'll store the output in a list item variable. Here again, I'll drag and drop if condition. Here I'll select string condition, and source value I'll pass a list item, because we have stored the applications in a list item. After this, because I'm looping through each list item, I'm storing the uh, output in a list item. So here I'm selecting a list item source value. If it's equal to, here I'll pass application's name. If it's equal to 7 zip, uncheck this checkbox. So I'll capture, I'll use capture command to capture this checkbox. And here again, I'll right click here and click on inspect, then copy the domex path for this checkbox. Copy X path, Control F, Control V. So if you can see, we are getting 1 of 9. That means it's selecting all the 9 checkboxes. So if we have to select the first one, so in the square bracket, I'll pass 1. So it's selecting first one. When I'll pass 2, so it's selecting Adobe Acrobat Professional. When I'll pass 3, so it's selecting Adobe Reader, you can see. And when I have to select the fourth checkbox, so I'll pass 4. So we can use this domex path to select each of the checkboxes. So here I'll, when the match is found, then I have to check the checkbox. So I'll select check here, and inside property, I'll unselect all the property, and in domex path I'll pass, because we have to select the first one. So I'll pass one here and unselect all the properties. I'll do this for other applications also. So I'll drag and drop else if command in condition. I'll pass source value dollar if it's equal to Adobe Acrobat Professional. Control C, Control V. So I'll copy the capture command and I'll pass here. And this time I'll just pass 2 here instead of 1, because we have to select the second checkbox. I'll copy paste the same else if command once again, and this time I'll copy the Adobe Reader. If a list item is equal to Adobe Reader, then I'll select third checkbox, copy paste the else if command again, and if it's equal to Google Chrome, so here I'll pass Google Chrome and I'll select fourth checkbox. Again, copy paste the else if command once again, and if it's equal to Microsoft Office, so here I'll pass 5, because we have to select the fifth checkbox now. Control C, Control V. If it's equal to Microsoft SQL Server, if my source value is equal to Microsoft SQL Server, so now I have to select the sixth checkbox. Again, copy paste the same else if command, and this time I'll pass MS Teams if source value is equal to MS Teams. So I'll check the seventh checkbox. I'll pass 7 here, and if source value is equal to maxima, so here I'll pass maxima, and then we have to capture the eighth checkbox. Control C, Control V. This is the last one. If source value is equal to putty, then Control A, Control V. Then we have to select the ninth checkbox. So here we are using else if command, if else if command, because either of this would be true. So that's why I'm using else if command, if else if. So we are done with this. So this was the third step. We have to fill the web page data based on Excel data. Step 4 is we have to click on create server button. So for this I'll use if command actually, because sometimes I'm unable to click on the create server. So for this I'll use object exist. This is optional actually. This we use when we have to give dynamic delay. So if this create server button exists, I'll wait for 60 seconds. Wait, I'll give 40 seconds here. So I have to click on capture. We can give this, if you want you can give this if condition, or you can directly give this capture command. So I'll select this create button, create server button, and here I have to perform left click operation. So once this is done, step 4 is completed. Step 5 is we have to capture the IP address, username and password. So after this, we have to capture the IP address, username and password. So for this, again I'll use dynamic delay. I'll use object exist condition here. If this object exists, because sometimes the website may take some more time to load the web page. So that's why here we have to use object exist command. So if this table exists, so I'll capture the table. So if this table exists, we'll wait for 180 seconds to load the web page. So we have to capture, drag and drop capture command, and I'll capture this table. Here I'll select get cell by index. So here we'll pass row. So in first row we have to select the, from first row we have to select the second column. So I'll pass row 1, column is second. So I'll pass 2 here, and by this we'll get the IP address. So I'll store the output in s address. Again I'll copy paste the same command for 2 times. Now here we'll pass from second row second column we will get username. So here I'll pass second row and second column, and I'll store the output in variable s username, and third time from third row second column will get the password. So here I'll pass from third row, column is second, will get the password. So I'll store the output in s password. Once this is done, once the once this is done, so I have to go back here. But when we are going one step back, we can see here the value that we are already selected is still it's selected. So for perform when we have to perform the same operation for second row. So first we have to refresh the page, then only we can perform the operation. So for this, here I'll use from browser package. First we have to go back one step. So I'll select server step. We have to go back one step, and after this, here I'll use simulate keystroke command. I'll use this when we are looping for each row in the table. So here I'll select the web page server setup, and here I'll pass keystroke F5. F5 used to refresh the page, so that's why I'm passing F5 keystroke. So this is done. We have to capture step 5 is done, step 6 is pending. We'll see how to send the mail, and we have to go back one step and repeat the step from 1 to 7 for all the data present inside Excel. So only one step is pending to send the mail. So we'll see here how we can, we'll see the output till here first. And here also we have to, if you will see this, we have blank rows inside the Excel file. So first time if I am getting get number of rows command, here drag and drop get number of rows, and when I'm selecting the data table variable, so first time I'm selecting select total rows, and I'm storing the data in variable and row count 1. This contains the total number of rows that are present inside Excel. Means empty rows also this will count, and I'll print the output in a message box. $n row count for two string. And if I'll copy paste the same command once again, but this time I'm selecting only non-empty rows. That means we have to select only that rows that contains the data, and I'll store the output in a variable r and row count. And if I print this, so we'll see the difference here. I'll run my code now. So when first time we'll get 999 rows because it's selecting the blank rows also. In Excel file we have blank rows also. So here we will implement one condition here. So I'll create one variable, one number variable. I'll pass n counter, and I'll store the default value 0 inside this variable. So when my loop will run for first time, so I'll increment the variable by 1. So this when loop will run for first row, so I'll increment the variable by 1 row and row count, sorry, and counter, and I'll store the output in and counter. So here we'll give one condition. If why we are giving this, because if we'll not give this condition, so it will loop for each row in table, and row in table it's contain total 999 rows. So but we want to loop through for only 32 times, because one row is header and our data is contained in 33 rows only. So that's why I'm giving this condition. I'll give number condition here. If source value is nothing but this n counter, dollar n counter, when it's equal to this n row count that contains non-empty rows. So if that is equal to dollar n row count that contains non-empty rows, means only it contains the data of the Excel file. It's not containing the non-empty rows. So when it's reached to that point, then I'll drag and drop break command. From loop package, I'll drag and drop break command, and once this condition is matched, then it will come out of the loop. So we'll see the output till here, and after this we'll implement the email logic. So it's downloading some packages, so that's why it's taking some time. Okay. First it will open the web page, and then it will open the Excel file and read all the data present inside Excel file. Because it's reading non-empty rows also, that's why it's taking some time. You can see here it's still reading the data from Excel file, get multiple cells command. So see, first time it's giving 99 row, 9 row count, because also counting the blank rows also, but we have only 33 rows, so that's why I given that condition. Once the loop counter is equal to 33, then break the loop, don't loop for 999 times. So, and second time it's giving 32, because first row is our header. So this is why I implement that condition, break the loop when the count is equal to 32. So it will start filling the data. First it will select the OS, then RAM size, then HDD, and then application. Click on create server. Once it will find the table, it will come back, refresh the page, and again it will select the data for second row. Again it will refresh the page, select the third row data, and click on create server. Here once the table is found, it will go back one step, refresh the page once again, and it will fill the fourth row data, and click on create server. Again it will come here, refresh the page, it will fill the fifth row data, and it will select the application and click on create server. So yes, we are getting the output correct. So now we'll implement the email part logic. I'm stopping my bot here. So once we are capturing the data, so here first I'll use connect command. So we can, here we can delete this, select total rows, because we don't need this. This is just for understanding. I drag and drop this command because it's reading non-empty rows also present inside excel, but we need this. Select non-empty rows count, and we'll break the loop when the encounter is equal to non-empty rows. So we'll need this, and I'll disable the message box here. Here I'll use connect command from email package. Here I'll give the session name as email session only, and host I'll pass email.gmail.com. Port I'll write 993. Username I'll pass Gmail. I already created this variable, and password I'll pass dollar password. This is not my Gmail password actually. I'll show you how we can create this password. This password is created via two-step verification. So I'll show you once how we can create this password. Use check this checkbox, and here select IMAP. So once the connection is established, so I'll show you what my variable contains. So you can see here in Gmail, I have this my Gmail ID, and from which we want to send the mail. And in password, we have this password. This is not my original password of my Gmail ID. It's created via two-step verification. I'll show you how we can create that this password. So after this, once we capture the record, then I'll use from email package, I'll use send command to address on which address we have to send the mail. So we have to send on we have to pass here dollar $r table row, and the data is present on fifth index, I think. 0 1 2 3 4 5. We have to send the mail on this email id, so I'll pass 5 here. CC we can keep this optional. Subject automation, okay, we'll keep the subject same. And here I'll pass message. What we have to write, we have to write this message. This will be the email body, so I'll copy paste this. For request id is address, and then username and password. Here we'll pass the variable dollar $r table row, and request id is present on 0 index, so I'll pass 0 here. IP address we will pass dollar $s IP address, for username I'll pass dollar $s username, the variable that we store the data. Password I'll pass the variable dollar $s password. This is the email body, and here from address we have to pass email id email.com. Email server host we have to write smtp dot gmail.com. Email server port we have to write 587. We have to select this true, true, and username we have to pass the same variable dollar gmail, and variable we have to pass the same variable dollar password that we created. Here I'll give 1 second delay actually. After this we'll give 1 second delay to run the bot smoothly. That's why I'm giving this 1 second delay. So yes, we implemented all the condition. I'll enable this. We can delete this message box. And so yes, we implemented all the steps here that we mentioned. I'll close my Excel file now. I'll run my bot. So first it will open the web page. Then it will open the Excel file and it will read all the data present inside Excel file. So it's reading Excel file data because it's reading blank rows also. That's why it's taking some time. So you can see here, get multiple cell. It's still reading the Excel file data. Okay, so now it will start filling the data inside web page. It will select the OS, it will select the size, RAM size, then it will select the HDD size and application, then and then it will click on create server button. It will capture the table. It will send the mail. After sending the mail, it will go back one step and it will refresh the page and start filling the next data from the Excel file. And So it will perform the same operation for all the rows present inside Excel. So it's reading the data still. It's creating. I think I given 1 second delay. That's why it's taking some time here. Else it will execute the process fast. So it's reading the data. Server created successfully. Then it will go back once again. It will refresh the page and it will fill the data and select the application and click on create server button. Normally it not takes much time. I don't know why it's taking here some time to load the page, because I given dynamic delay. So when the table is found, then it will capture the data and send the mail, and it will directly come back here and again perform the process. So I think due to delay, it's waiting, it's taking time. Now it will send the mail. So our bot runs successfully. We'll see the output. So I think my internet is not very good, so that's why it was taking so much time. Today, some problem with internet, so that's why. Else, it will execute the process fast. Today only, it's taking time. So here we can see this for request one, we get the message for request ID request 0001. This is the details: IP address, username, and password. These are the details that server is created successfully, and we'll get the same for request ID 2 also. Request ID 2, IP address, username, and password. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we have total 32 requests. Th- So we received all the mail successfully for request 32. IP address is this, username is this, and password is this. So one thing is how we can create this password that we are using. So for this, we can click here, manage your Google account, go to security. Then here is two-step verification. We have to on this two-step verification, and here we can add our password. So here I'll enter my. So here you can see this. I added one password for automation anywhere. So that's how you can create your password by activating two-step verification, and you can use this password here. So thanks for watching the video. If you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. If you have any query, you can comment in the comment section, and I'll for sure reply to your query. Thank you.